Hello, my friends. It's your buddy Phil here, project management trainer and coach. I wanted to go over the PMI exam security and confidentiality clauses in this document. As you can see here in bold, it says, among other things, this document, the PMI certification application renewal agreement, addresses post-examination questions and discussions. It states, furthermore, I agree not to discuss, debrief, or disclose in any manner the specific content of PMI examination questions and answers to any individual. Any means any. Any means whether it's your cousin, your brother, your sister, your significant other, your mom, your dad. Don't discuss and disclose. Now, I know some people think this is overkill, but in recent light of PMI's new exam policies, this becomes even more stringent because in disclosing this content to others, you may be putting them in harm's way. Let me explain further. If you disclose specifics on the exam and data forensics are used to examine that person's result, and it looks as though a particular question or questions do not conform to the norm of duration, mode, how they were answered for whatever reason, you could be endangering that person because their result could be questioned as a result of the speed or the ease with which they flip between certain questions. It says PMI uses independent third-party security vendors, including psychometricians, statisticians, to conduct forensic analyses on test administration data. These analyses are designed to protect the validity of the examination by looking for evidence that suggests a candidate's score may not be a true measure of their knowledge or ability. PMI reserves the right to hold, invalidate, or cancel any score identified as potentially invalid on the basis of these analyses alone. Any candidate whose score is invalidated or canceled on the basis of statistical evidence alone shall be entitled to a free retake of the examination, although PMI may place date, time, or location restrictions on the administration. Statistical evidence may also be used during either an investigation into potential misconduct or a disciplinary action. However, statistical evidence alone shall not be sufficient to accuse a candidate of misconduct or take disciplinary action against a candidate without additional evidence. Note that while this policy applies to statistical evidence, forensic analysis may uncover other types of evidence that are not considered statistical and which are sufficient to take action against a candidate, which may include, but is not limited to, cancellation, invalidation, revocation of the exam, and further action as determined by the PMI. PMI strives to ensure that only qualified individuals earn PMI credentials. However, there may be times when an individual's credential needs to be revoked after it has been awarded. For example, if PMI determines an individual cheated on the exam and or used a proxy, in other words, someone pretending to be them to pass the exam, in those instances, PMI will notify the individual and post their name, PMI ID number, exam name, and credential number to pmi.org. This is a very serious matter, my friend. So I encourage you to understand PMI's policies, okay? Here's a candidate security acknowledgement. Prior to the exam, all candidates are presented with this. And it just reads, as a candidate, you are required to follow the terms. You are signing up, agreeing that you will follow the policies. You understand failure to do so could result in investigation by PMI, that could result in them canceling your exam. You understand that PMI exams are confidential. I will not disclose discuss or disclose the questions, content, or answers from my examination to any person or company, including other candidates, education providers, or exam preparation services at any time. Prior to this exam, I have not received information from any source regarding the confidential questions, content, or answers. I will promptly report to PMI any possible violations of the Certification Application Renewal Agreement, PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct, or PMI certification program policies by myself or others. Okay, it says the preliminary exam scores. Any score provided at the conclusion of a candidate's testing session is considered preliminary. I want to make this very clear because some folks get into the exam and it seems like they've got AT, but that stuff is preliminary until the candidate receives notice from the PMI that the result is official. I encourage you to read through PMI's documentation for this exam. Be sure to know what you're getting into and just follow through what you are being asked. There's a lot more small print and information in this document, but you can find this on PMI's website. It's just called the PMI Certifications Handbook, and it cuts across all their certifications. Thank you. Share this with someone else. Bye for now.